Wendy, every time you relax in that seat, you disappear on me. Where's Ron? Oh, I don't know, for some reason he's bending over picking up a camera. Anyway, here it is, autumn in Europe. A little bit different, a little bit cooler than those last 2 summer weeks in Europe that we had as you escorted me through the classical music trails of Germany, the Czech Republic and Austria. And that's what you had this collective energy and enthusiasm. Oh yes, you did. Even Martin got a little worried because he thought you were going to end up driving the bus. You certainly drove the tour, and that's why I'm saying you escorted me rather than the other way around. But wasn't it wonderful? And you know, as I'm reflecting on all this, I wonder, where's Beethoven? I thought he'd be knocking at the door. Oh, there he is. Well, Bonn was very special. Remember, we had the Birmingham Symphony Orchestra raising the curtain on the whole tour with the Choral Symphony. And how about our guide, Frau Schuckmann-Treuder? So enthusiastic about our walk in the footsteps of Beethoven.
They were beheaded and they even got names. They are Czechs and Croatians. There's the story that Joseph Haydn was on his way back from London to Vienna, and the last Prince Elector was in Austria. It was the youngest son of Empress Maria Theresia of Austria. His name was Max Franz, and he was also very fond of music, of course. Twist of the body and really charming, I would say. But as we are on a Beethoven tour, I would like to tell you something that has to do with Beethoven and this palace. I showed you at the model the former church. Every residence, every palace of a prince had its own chapel or church. The church used to be over there behind this tower. Before the fire, and shortly after the fire they built a new chapel, but under this tower. Unfortunately we cannot enter it now, but I brought you a picture. This is already no longer Baroque but Classicism, a very fine church in yellow and white, remarkable stucco work. It was all redone after World War II, and this is the place where young Beethoven learned to play the organ from Neefe, from the Protestant chief organist I mentioned.
Yes.
With the pigeon representing the Holy Spirit at the top.
That's right.
Is it pigeon or dove? Dove. And this is new, as you see. Situated in the center of clouds. And now, as you see, we have 2 markets today. The real ordinary market is behind the market fountain, behind this obelisk, every day except Sundays until 6 o'clock.
The obelisk in the marketplace in front of the town hall dates from 1777 in honour of the Prince Elector Maximilian Friedrich, and it's actually a fountain called the Marktbrunnen. The most impressive church in Bonn is probably Minster St. Martin, a Romanesque church dating in different periods of construction from the 11th to the 13th century. Restored after severe war damage, the cathedral has now become a papal basilica.
Well, we have the Bristol Hotel to remember, and Mike's talks about the symphonies, plus all those interesting sites that we found in Bonn.
Housed now in the modern landmark building, the 2 major corporations, Deutsche Post, DHL, and Deutsche Telekom are headquartered in Bonn. 19 United Nations institutions are also located in Bonn, as well as the University of Bonn and the birthplace of Ludwig van Beethoven.
On our way out of Bonn, we paid our respects to Beethoven's mother and, of course, to Robert and Clara Schumann.
Just beyond the Old Centre is Bonn's Alter Friedhof, or Old Cemetery, where the harmony of nature and artistic graves impresses the visitor still today. Robert and Clara Schumann, Schiller's wife Charlotte, and his son Ernst, as well as Beethoven's mother, are buried here. The Schumann House in Bonn was the last residence of the German composer Robert Schumann in the Bonn district Endenich. At that time it housed a private psychiatric clinic. Today it's a memorial and a museum and music library used by the city of Bonn. It was built around 1790 as a country house for the electoral chamber councillor and mayor Matthias Joseph Kaufmann. Robert Schumann came in March 1854 from Düsseldorf at his own request as a patient to Endenich. He eventually died there on the 29th of July 1856. There are, as facsimiles, letters and documents from the city archives in Bonn, as a loan from the City Museum, as well as paintings and objects related to Robert and Clara Schumann, supplemented by regular donations from private collections.